Willow Creek Springs presents Healthy Living with your host, Joe Grumbine.
Well, hello, and welcome back to the Healthy Living Podcast. I'm your host, Joe Grumbine, and today we have back with us Dr. Robert Hoffman from the Anti-Cancer Foundation. Robert, welcome back.
Thank you, Joe. Always glad to be here.
Oh, it's great to have these conversations. I think a lot of people are learning a lot, and I'm hoping to create a pathway for people to find answers to their own problems, whether it's cancer or anything else. And I think this is creating a pathway that's helpful. So it's been a little while since we've sat together, and of course, things keep happening. As you know, this journey of healing just doesn't stop. It either goes one direction or the other. We're trying to keep it moving forward in the healing side of things. And I also wanted to talk about this series of symposiums that the NIH has put on. And I thought that was actually, even though maybe it's a little underwhelming, it's also very exciting to see that people at this level are having a conversation about methionine and the methionine restriction. What are your thoughts?
I think it's great, Joe. I've been in the field. I've been studying methionine dependence, addiction, restriction of cancer, whatever, 52 years.
Right.
The first, the NIH putting on a symposium on this topic. I think it's amazing. And I want to, in large part, not all, it's due to one of our patients,
Right.
Dave Ferraro.
I know, it's
who
exciting.
relentlessly would telephone people at the NIH. He himself is on a clinical trial at the NIH. He goes there every few months to get a scanning for his prostate cancer as part of this clinical trial. And we talked to a few people that are leaders at the NIH, in particular the National Cancer Institute, and they were very nice but not committal. Finally, Dave got a hold of, I guess she's a program director, Dr. She, XI, and she did it. It took a while, took a few months, but she got this symposium going. We've already had 2 sessions with 4 or 5 talks in each one by various people in Dr. She's program who have received NIH grants or NCI grants. All the talks have been interesting. There's going to be another session on July 29. I'm told that I will be part of that. I'm not sure what will be. It's okay. I'd love to be part of it. If I'm not, it's still good. The very fact that it exists is a really good thing. And let me tell you what's happened on the human side. So Dave Ferraro, he's been going to the big clinical center at the NIH. It's called Building 10. It's probably the greatest hospital in the world. And he would talk to people about what he's doing. He's been taking methionine for 2 to 3 years. He's been on a low methionine diet 2 to 3 years or more. His prostate cancer is totally under control. And everybody, he would talk to them. That was nice. And then the last time he went there, he became a rock star. Everybody in the clinic knew about this symposia, and Dave let him know, because of me, and Dr. She, and every doctor started coming in the room, nurses coming in the room. Everybody wanted to talk to Dave, shake his hand. I don't know if they will ask for autographs or not, but Dave's now a rock star, and it seems like it's common knowledge around the whole NIH that this symposium is ongoing.
I love
it. Due to like certain restrictions in communication that's been coming out the last 6 months.
Right. Oops, we're glitching here for some reason. I'm not hearing you right now.
Steering committee of our Zoom is allowed to be on it, but silent. This is out of kind of fear about communications restrictions that have been put in since January or so.
Right.
Never used to be like that.
Right.
So it's a kind of miracle, and I'm sure it's going. This will spread around the world. I think it's all been recorded. I don't know the plan, but it's going to get out there. There's no question it's going to get out there. So
I think this exemplifies a couple of things. Number one, Dave's persistence and willingness to get out there and keep telling his story and keep pushing. I think that's instrumental. It's what I do. It's what you do. It's what so many people that are trying to further this knowledge out there are doing. We just keep trying, keep talking to whoever will listen, and you keep showing them the truth, and eventually, you're going to break through one time or another. But he was in a place where the people he got to break through are connected and respected in a way that really can have a lasting effect. And that was, just it's a miracle and just a lot of hard work all at the same time. I think it's great. I
don't know what the plan is for the next symposium. Supposed to get it on Monday. We didn't get it yet. If they indeed include me, as they said they would, I'm going to feature the patients, and one of them is going to be you.
I love it.
So I'm hopeful, but even if that doesn't come to be, it's been fantastic. Something that never happened before. It's happened. The field itself is 65 years old. It started in that very building 10 in 1959, with Dr. Sugimura visiting from Japan, and Dr. Greenfield something's lab way back then, and he discovered you take methionine out of the rat chow, and the tumors in the rats slowed way down more than taking anything else out of the rat chow.
Nice.
That's how it all began.
Nice.
Right there.
I love it. Well, I'm getting a taste of the frustration that you face of knowing this knowledge and sharing this knowledge, and just nobody knows about it. And everywhere I go, I talk about my story, and everywhere I go, people look at me with a blank look. And whether it's a doctor, a practitioner, a cancer patient, or somebody who's a caretaker, but I just keep telling the story, and one by one,
refer them to the publications, Joe. There's now 2,000 papers on PubMed, which is available to everybody in the cosmos.
Exactly.
Since 1959, 2,000 papers on methionine dependence, methionine addiction, methionine restriction of cancer. 2,000 papers.
And this is peer reviewed.
It's a penetration problem, but it's the very fact of this symposium means things are changing.
Right. Exactly. And the people that are taken seriously or at least considered are the ones that are hosting this. So that means that conversation is going to be shined in a little bit different light. And I think that's
and they give money.
Yes, exactly.
So, it's extremely competitive to get the money.
Right.
But every speaker so far, there's been 10 or 12 of them, and they all have grants from the National Cancer Institute, I think under Dr. Xi's program, I believe.
Hi, this is Joe Grumbine, and I wanted to share an update. The platform that hosts this podcast has made some changes to the subscriber settings, and we have a number of subscriber-only episodes that we offer to the supporters, and for a minimum of $3 a month, we can get you signed up. And if you're already signed up and you're having some kind of trouble locating these episodes in the other platforms, I would say maybe the best answer is to unsubscribe and then resubscribe. I'm sorry for the hassle. I don't have any way to make a change, but I'm very grateful for all the support. Thank you.
Nice.
I believe. So it's
Well, imagine this. All of a sudden, they start awarding grants to these experiments on methionine restriction and even maybe methionase. And then all of a sudden, we start maybe leading the way to human trials. And that would be
Joe, unofficial trials are ongoing as
Sure.
we speak. You're a part of
it.
We get the trials. That's okay. It's good. We don't get the trials. Hey, we're going forward. I have 2-3 new patients every day.
I love it.
So round the world. So
happening, definitely.
Yeah.
I know that just in my communication from this podcast and just from being somebody who talks to everybody I come near, more and more, I got 2 people this last week that are both stage 4 survivors, and I got them to consider the diet. I got them both on Hominex, and I've invited them both to the call, and I told them about you. I've given them your contact information. So
everybody's free to call me.
Yeah, I tell them, I give them your email, and I said, just send them an email.
You give them my cell phone too,
Okay.
Joe.
I wanted to be okay that was okay. I didn't want to just
give it out. What the heck? What am I going to do? Hide the cell phone and not talk to people?
I love it.
No.
Perfect. I will now add that to it. I never take that liberty unless I know I'm okay.
I understand that, and I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I'm here to help. I'm 81. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be around, but boy, every minute I want to help people.
I love it. And that's the attitude that I think we all have. I think that, the cancer survivors and the cancer victors, we all have this incredible lust for life. We love to live, and we want to stay that way, and we want to take our life and make it meaningful. And by helping other people that are otherwise, going down a road that's going to lead them to suffering and a short life, well, what if you could affect that in a positive way? I think
we are, Joe. We are. And what does it say in the Bible? You save one life, you save everybody. I mean, every life is so precious that we can help.
And every person that you reach, they're going to tell one more person. I have people now calling me. I get 2 or 3 new people a week that are reaching out to me. Somebody told somebody, and the word's starting to get out.
Boy, that's good.
I take every call. I talk to them. I tell them what I can. And even today, I had some people setting up for a retreat over the weekend. And this one guy just talking to me. Next thing I know, I'm telling him my story. Next thing I know, he thought he knew a thing, and he doesn't have cancer, but it doesn't matter. He's a smart guy.
He knows plenty of people who do.
Exactly.
And he's probably a whole bunch of his relatives do.
Exactly.
I mean, there's nobody free of this disease.
No, absolutely not. And so this takes me to another topic. So I've been talking about our Sunday Zoom call, since I joined it. I think it's one of the most powerful groups of people I've ever been a part of. These are all people that are benefiting from the knowledge that you shared and the methionase, and all of these people are free in discussing their stories and their other solutions on top. The methionine restriction and methionase is a part of it, but we're always adding things on top of it, whether it's oxygen therapy or chemotherapy or exercise or whatever. We're doing things in combination to solve the problem. And
there's no limit of things we can do to help.
Exactly. And so these people that are sharing their personal experiences are that's knowledge that you can't get out of a book or a study or anything. This
Or a
is
scientific paper? No, no.
this is
It's
the real deal.
directly from the patient.
Yeah, and so that's huge. And I've joined a couple of other groups. I've sat in on the Nori group a little bit, and they got some good stuff they talk about. I just joined a group. It's a Facebook group, but it is specifically a squamous cell carcinoma patient group. And there are 14 or 1,500 active members in this and 16,000 people in it. And I've just sat in initially. I'm just listening before I jump in and start talking, but I'm listening. And, mostly what I'm hearing are people that have gone through the same radiation chemo treatment they want to give me, and talking about the suffering and the pain and the anguish that they've gone through, and the feeding tubes and the weight loss.
Worse than the cancer.
Worse than the cancer, exactly. And that's something that I just want people that are listening to this to consider, that if you find yourself with cancer and you go to the doctor, which I recommend, go to the doctor, have them diagnose.
You got to go to the doctor.
Yeah. So I'm not against any of that, but take your time and listen to what they're suggesting to do, because they can't make you do anything, and research it and learn about it. And as I did, I talked to a surgeon, and he said, we need to give you radiation chemo, and then I'm going to operate. Then I talked to the radiation guy, and he says, oh no, don't get the surgery. You're going to be disfigured. And let's just do my radiation and chemo. And then I talked to the chemo doctor. She says, yeah, listen to the radiation guy. And then I talked to you and these other people, and we came up with another answer that basically left me the same as I started, except for I don't have so much hair, but I don't have a tumor either. And
Yeah.
and so, everybody I talked to today, I just talked to a kid today who said, I was telling him about, the last 6 months and where I was at 3 months ago. And he says, wow, when I first saw you, I said, you're a very fit and healthy guy. That's what his first impression was of me. And it's only 10 weeks after I began this treatment, and less than 4 months of me being on the methionine restriction diet and taking the methionine. It's only 4 months since I started that. And I've gone from on death's door to people are looking at me going, wow, that's a healthy guy. And that's huge. Most people that go through cancer treatment, they spend the rest of their life frail and weak and not ever going.
No need. Look at Hozumi. Look at
Yes,
Chihiro.
yes, absolutely. And I think that's the critical part about sharing our
He
story.
avoided the radiation and the surgery.
Yes.
Chemo did it all, along with methionine.
Exactly. So I wanted to share a little bit about the story. I had my follow-up with the doctor, with the medical oncologist after the CT scan. And I have still the follow-up in person with the radio oncologist on next Thursday. And they're doing.
You know already what he's going to say.
I know exactly, but I'm going to record it, and I'm going to.
You got to go. You got to go.
I'm going to go. I'm going to give it another shot.
Listen and discuss and tell what you want. This is what I want.
Exactly.
Help me get what I want. If I need your radiation, I'm going to let you know.
Exactly. And I'm doing it in a way that's not adversarial, and I always am clear that my goal is to do the most amount of good with the least amount of harm. And
can I say something?
Sure.
Before I forget it.
Yeah.
All these doctors, they are service providers.
Right.
And they're very, very educated,
yes,
very highly intelligent, very highly skilled. I have all the respect in the world for them.
Right.
But they're service providers.
Correct.
And who are we? The patient.
Right. Yes.
We're the customer.
Yes.
We're the customer. We're either paying out of our own pocket, or we're paying from the insurance that we get from wherever, or we're paying from the Medicare that comes to us.
Right.
We're paying.
Yes.
So we got to have the final say. We're the customer.
Yep.
Don't sell me something I don't want and I'm paying for it.
Exactly. And that's really been the key of my message is listen to the doctor, do your own research, evaluate it, and make a good choice. And, there's going to be good and maybe not so good information from everybody you talk to.
Well,
And
you go out and you want to buy a house, you look at
right.
this one and that one and the other one and this one. You
And
find the one you like. The same with the
exactly.
doctor.
Yes, exactly. So that's kind of where I'm at. So I'll be kind of brief about the conversation because it's kind of what you would have expected. And I walked through, she walked through the CT scan, and her interpretation was that the primary tumor at the back of my tongue and the secondary tumor on the side of my neck are gone. And that there is still a mass in 2 lymph nodes. And I said to her, well, okay, I understand that. And she says, I'm actually disappointed that they didn't go away entirely. But
Well, at least one of the masses, or the total 2 masses, whatever, had a very significant shrink, at least a third shrinkage.
exactly. Yeah. Yeah. It affected them for sure. And I mentioned that. I says, well, they're a lot smaller than they were, number one. And the truth is they could still be shrinking. And we don't know the answer to that. And the other truth is we don't know what it is. We know that it could be necrotic tissue. It could be non-cancerous.
Only the Met PET scan is going to tell us the real story.
Exactly. And that's really kind of what she said. She goes, well, even if we did a biopsy, we wouldn't know. We have to get the whole thing out. And I says, well, I don't want
dead tissue.
right, exactly. So that's I got her to acknowledge that number one, we don't know that it's cancerous. And we also don't know that it's not continuing to shrink until we check it again. And so she acknowledged that, and then I went on and I talked about the different tests. I talked about that Signatera test that you talked about. I talked about the liquid biopsy test. I talked about the squamous cell carcinoma antigen test that they have. There's a number of there's a circulating tumor test, tumor cell test, and she really kind of said, well, that NavDX test tells me what I need to know. And so she kind of poo-pooed that and said she wasn't going to order any further tests. I says, all right, well, I'll work on that myself. And it's okay. She didn't have a problem with me doing it.
And if folks know about the Life Extension website, you can order tests.
Exactly. And if you just know what to ask for, it's not that difficult of a process. So I'm in the process of determining which tests I can get and which ones, how often I
get
can
a whole lot of them.
Exactly. So what I told her is, her plan is for me to continue with this high dose radiation, and it is 5 days a week for 6 weeks, and they strap you down with this shield they build around your head and chest, and they blast the heck out of you. And I told her, and then you get chemotherapy on top of that. And she said, well, the chemotherapy by itself isn't going to do the job, but it helps.
But look what it did so far.
I know, exactly. And
I don't see the logic.
I know. And that was where I was like, okay, I'm just trying to get where she's coming from so that I know what to even mention or not mention. Because
it's coming from the guidelines, Joe.
I know. And that's what I really came to realize. I talked to her about immunotherapy, which I found in several papers that determine that there's an immunotherapy chemotherapy combination that is used with my cancer. And she says, well, we can't do that because you're not metastatic. And that's the only.
But you are metastatic.
I
it's
know.
In the
She
lymph
said
nodes.
it moved to my lymph nodes. Exactly. But they're not classifying it like that right now. And she said, well, it's not approved for the cancer you have the way you have it, and we couldn't even get it through insurance if we wanted it right now. And it says, well, that I can understand, but geez, would you not even consider?
You don't know what you're going to get through insurance.
I know. Why wouldn't you even try?
And maybe you present it correctly, and you might have a chance.
Well, and that's why I'm still going. So what I've been doing, and with this group, I've been getting tidbits of other drugs people are using, other chemo combinations. Not everybody's doing the radiation chemo. Most people have not talked about diet or herbs or certain. I've not seen any reference to methionine yet, but I'll be integrating it. I'm just trying to get myself into the group without being, not.
This is the squamous cell group.
Yeah, yeah, and it's all around the world. This are people from around the world,
It's
and
an incredibly big group.
yeah, and
And boy, I mean, to hear the horror stories.
oh, it's mostly horror stories, and a lot of people. The biggest horror story I'm hearing is somebody gets diagnosed, and they get a biopsy or they get a test that comes back positive, and then their doctor doesn't move. They say that they're waiting for months and they're not getting any cause for treatment. And I'm just like, this is a cancer that the more I learn about it, the more aggressive I realize it is. And it wants to metastasize and it's good at it. And it spreads to your lungs, it spreads to your lymph nodes, and it gets all around your body quickly if you give it a chance. And for a doctor to not decide that, wow, as soon as you discover something that's this deadly and this aggressive, why you wouldn't stop what you're doing and begin a treatment of some sort is beside. I can't understand it. So
Something in the guidelines. I don't know.
well, and it's in different places around the world. It's not just here in the States. And there's a myriad of different situations, but I just realized, and then there's people who, they don't have insurance or good insurance and they're getting evicted while they're, people don't realize when you're getting these treatments, it's debilitating. Even the chemo knocked me out pretty bad. And you can't really work. You can't do what you normally are doing because you're busy fighting this thing. And so if you don't have some kind of cushion or some kind of insurance, people are losing their homes. They're losing their livelihoods at the same time they're fighting.
Very unfortunate.
Yeah. So understanding that I've got empathy, but really what I have now is a determination. I believe in my own research, I found out that this 3-drug cocktail that did so much good for me is approved for up to 6 doses and before it has a toxic level. And I don't know if that's all at once or just over an accumulated time, but I know that it said more than one study came up with 6 doses without it being, some sort of a toxic overload. And so I realized that I have to go to the medical records in order to get the images from my CT scans, which I'm going to be doing this coming Thursday. So I have to go and get a chemo or a port flush. They have to run something through me to make sure that it doesn't clog because I'm going to keep the port in until I know I'm done.
Yeah, it has to be patent, as they say.
Yeah.
Patent.
So they say every 4 to 6 weeks I got to get that done. So I'm getting that done, and I'm meeting with the radio oncologist. I'm gonna present to him the same things I presented to her. And the way I'm going to offer this is, number one, I still have not gotten my dental clearance because I couldn't do any dental work while I was getting the chemo. So I've got to begin that process again. That gives me a solid reason why I can't begin this. But number two, I'm just going to lay it out for him that I've got another scan in 3 months scheduled. And I most definitely want to see what happens between now and 3 months. And the 2 tumors are gone. The 2 masses in my lymph nodes have shrunk. So the worst thing that's going to happen is we'll notice some change for the negative, and then I would make a decision on what I'm going to do next. But I think it's rational, and I don't think it's adversarial. And I think that, I don't want to lose these people and say, well, we can't treat you anymore because you're not listening to us.
That can happen.
I know that, and that's what I'm trying to make sure doesn't happen. So I'm not approaching them in an adversarial way at all. I'm just saying, look, I think it's best that we just sit on this for a minute. We've come so far. I'm doing fantastic. I know what the negative side effects are, and in order for me to agree to that, it has to be a pretty dire situation. And I don't believe that's going to happen.
Well, it has to be. There's no other way.
Right, exactly. That would be the treatment of last resort. And I've got a lot of.
We run out of chemo.
Yeah.
And it's still growing.
Exactly.
Okay. Turn on the radiation.
Right. So now my mission is I'm going to get these scan reports. I'm going to bring him to Dr. Castro. Hopefully he'll see me and agree to work.
He'll see you. You may have to wait a little bit.
It's
You
all
may
right.
have to make a little bit of noise.
We'll do what we got to do. But he said something that was concerning to me when my tumor was big, and I told him about, we had come up with the chemo treatment and that they agreed to do it. It was really just before I got the port installed, that I saw him last. And he said, you need to do that radiation because they have to do it or they're not going to be able to treat you. And he seemed like he was very positive of me taking that radiation. So I hope he's
Well, he's probably had good experience with it.
maybe.
But Joe, that was before you had this fantastic response.
Exactly. When he saw me last, I was
That
on.
was Joe 1.0.
Exactly. So I'm hoping that when he sees me today or when he sees me soon, he'll see the difference of what we did. And he understands the methionine restriction and the methionase. He
He
accepts that.
understands it as well as anybody.
Exactly. So finally, I've got one doctor out of all of them that I've talked to that even know what I'm talking about and accept that as a positive piece of the puzzle. So that's kind of where we're at. I feel positive about that. I believe.
Joe, if it were me, I'd find some doc that will give me another 3 cycles of the same cocktail you've gotten so far to get as much out of that cocktail as you can. Go as
Agree.
far as you can with that cocktail.
I totally agree.
There's a good chance that it's going to be all gone by then. And if
I
it's
agree.
not all gone, then we got to do plan B.
Right.
And it might be another cocktail, or it might be finally we go to the radiation.
Well, and I'm looking at this immunotherapy chemo combination that is being used, and that would certainly be preferable to the radiation if I can get that.
Trouble is, like the doc said, the immunotherapy is incredibly expensive.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
10,000 around. I don't know. So to get the insurance,
Got it.
go with it. I don't know. Okay, let's just go by logic.
Right.
Just stupid simple logic. Hey, I've had 3 treatments and I've got a tremendous response.
Right.
Literature says, hey, you can probably get another 3 before the toxicity really kicks in.
Right.
Can't I just try another 3?
Right.
See how far we can go. We've gone so far. When Ohtani's pitching with a good fastball and curveball, what's he supposed to do? Stop that and go to the knuckleball?
Exactly.
I mean,
we do what works.
It's working.
Yes.
Why we have to stop what's working?
Yeah, it makes no sense. And that's really, I'm going to start with Dr. Castro. And then after that, I'm going to start researching probably an integrative.
Find some integrative.
Yes.
Castro's an integrative guy. Find another integrative guy, girl.
Yeah. And I'll just start setting up consultations until I find somebody that'll listen to me.
You'll find somebody.
Yeah.
You'll find somebody.
And I'm persistent. I'm not going to give up till I get one.
Let me just give you a name.
Sure.
From long ago.
Okay.
His name is Tom Song, like singing a song.
Okay.
And I used to know him, and he used to give people incredibly high dose chemo.
Okay.
He was very controversial, but he held his ground.
Okay.
My understanding, he's still practicing.
Okay.
Probably be close to my age, up there.
All right.
He's a good guy. Keep him in mind. He practices south of San Diego somewhere.
Doesn't matter. Wherever he is, that's where I'll go. Yeah, I'm not worried about it. I'll go where I need to.
Tom Song.
All right. I will look him up. Well, Robert, I think we've covered a lot of ground. It's always
we did
talk to you. And I'm excited to hear about this symposium. And I feel like little by little, the information's getting out there. And I believe more and more these cancers that are killing people are going to kill less people. And people are not going to have to take such invasive, devastating treatments. They'll get more value out of less harmful treatments. And, we just learn to adapt a lifestyle that doesn't give that cancer a place to live.
There you go.
Beautiful. All right, Robert.
Exactly. Well, the new world is the well-informed patient.
Yes.
The well-informed patient. This is
Exactly.
this is the new way.
Yes. And the one thing that I've gotten is that when I'm talking to these doctors, they're listening to me because I'm talking their language and I'm using their papers and I'm not just throwing words out there. They know that I've done research and I'm
You're not a crank, you're not a quack.
exactly. So if you can get yourself up to a knowledge stream and the language that you can have a civil conversation with somebody, you'd be surprised. They'll at least hear
An
you.
informed conversation.
Exactly.
Civil and informed.
Yes.
The most important thing is to be informed. There's PubMed out there. Everybody can look at the papers, and no matter how much jargon is in the paper, if you get through the summary, you can get
Take
the
your
point.
time and look it up. Yeah, it's worth it. And
AI can help translate it.
Oh, absolutely. I totally agree. Well, Robert, I'm looking forward to talking to you again on Sunday. And remember,
Thank you, Joe.
We have a Zoom call on Sunday, and it's actually a link in all the show notes of these podcasts. So look down at the bottom of the notes. You can click on that and join us.
Everybody's warmly welcomed.
Exactly. Excellent. All right, Robert. Well, thank you so much. And
thank you, Joe. Week. Always great to be on.
Beautiful. We'll see you all next time, folks.
Okay. See you in a few.
All right.
This has been another episode of the Healthy Living Podcast. We produce this show so that people can share their stories, people that have overcome obstacles, people that are undergoing obstacles. We're building a community of health-minded individuals. If you're interested in supporting the show, please leave a review on the platform you're listening to it on. If you're interested in becoming a guest, please send an email to itsjoegrumbine@gmail.com, or you can send a note into the notes section of the podcast. All right. Well, thank you for supporting this show, and we hope you've enjoyed it.